In 2017, an assistant professor of economics at Brigham Young named Jeffrey T. Denning reported that tuition for public four-year universities has risen 241% since 1981 due to inflation. So basically, I believe that the cost of college tuition and college as a whole should be reduced because there are so many negative effects due to the constant increase in price of tuition and college as a whole. This topic is very important because it's a very controversial issue that a lot of people talk about these days. And it's very relatable for people of all ages, especially those parents that have children who are in college or are going to be attending college in the upcoming years and they need some knowledge about the topic. My personal experience with this is, I'm a freshman at Missouri State, obviously, and I'm just getting into the college world and how much it actually costs. So I understand all the price and stuff. Obviously, I'm not paying for it all. My parents are obviously helping it, but it's a lot of money. So first, we're going to talk about the fact that reducing the price of college tuition would attract new students and give them more options when it comes to choosing what college you want to attend. And the second thing that we were going to talk about is how it would create a compromise, an update, because there hasn't been an update in so long, and the price just keeps rising. It doesn't seem to ever go down. And the last thing that we're going to discuss is how stressful it is for the students that are actually doing the college work, and it just puts a lot of debt after schooling, and it just makes it a lot more stressful for them throughout their college years. So, like I said, the first thing we're talking about is attracting new students. And basically, you're going to attract new students who skip college because of the cost, like those who are just like, I don't want to go to college and I can't pay for it, so might as well just skip out on it. You also get a lot more foreign exchange students, a lot more diversity, because people will come to America to pay for college that is less expensive, and they'll get a good education here. For example, a journalist from Bazinga reported in 2020 that the purpose for lowering tuition might be to attract new students and be transparent. And that was said by Melissa Brock, which it shows that you want to attract new students and be transparent so more people attend college. And another staff of USA Today actually said, two of them, Megan Kowalski and Hadley Malcolm, wrote in 2013 that parents have developed a more cost-conscious mentality, causing them to eliminate colleges that are too expensive. So this is what I'm talking about, more options. Parents eliminate so many colleges because of the cost these days, and it makes it much harder for students to pick, and they have way lower options. So if you reduce the price of college, they're less likely to do this, and students can choose based on education, not price. Moving on into the compromise and how it's such a big issue, it would just make an update and actually make people feel like the issue is being attended to. And in 2019, David H. Feldman and Richard M. Romano, both professors of economics, wrote that the propositions to make college free, or at least cheaper, will become more prevalent in debates in the future. And basically what this is saying, it'll bring the topic at peace for now. And there'll be less talk about the issue, more talk about more important issues. Not saying this is important, it's obviously important, but it's important to get a compromise out there so people actually believe that something is being done. And second, doing so will make a lot of people happy, and then there will be a decrease in negativity towards this topic of the price of tuition as it just continues to rise. And it gives the people in charge a good representation because it seems like they're actually doing something for the issue, which will go very far in the long run. And although it'll be great to see that there's not any more talk or a bunch of arguments about this issue, it'll be even more rewarding to know that students are less stressed as they're going through this time. So, the point of the last thing that I'm going to discuss is to limit the amount of stress on students, and it's very important because, like Abigail J. Hess of CNBC reported in October 2020, that the cost of college has increased by more than 25% in the last 10 years, which has resulted in concerns for many students, which obviously isn't good because you want your students to be actually focused on the college, your education, what you're going there for. You don't want to be focused on getting money or anything like that. So doing so, reducing the price of tuition would allow them to focus on college, on the workload, and actually getting good grades, getting a good GPA, increasing to actually enjoying learning like you're supposed to. You're supposed to enjoy what you want to do because you're going to move into it in the long run. like you said, you'll be more successful as well. And it'll make it like money is no longer a priority. So like for example, Charles Owen Jackson, a professional freelance writer, stated in 2019 that saving money in college can seem impossible, even when you don't have a full time job, even if you have financial aid that doesn't even do it most of the time. It shows that financial aid doesn't really help that much. Like you get some money from it, but it's still in the back of your head because you still know you're going to get in debt after schooling, and it's still going to make you stressed throughout your 4 years at college, or maybe even more. And it also allows college kids to get the best college experience, which that's kind of the point that you're going to. There's more to it than grades and all the classes, new classes, moving on. You actually want to check out frats, anything like getting involved, organizations, community, like everything like that, sports, whatever it is. You'll have a lot more free time as well. And it'll just limit the stress of students. There's so much stress, tests, everything. They have to worry about getting good grades throughout college because they need to go somewhere in the future. And it'll just make it a much better experience than for in the long run. Overall, the mental health of college students is obviously like one of the most important aspects of going to college, because most people don't really talk about it because they don't think that it actually means anything. They just need to do something good. It's not that serious. It doesn't really mean anything. But I believe that this is the most important part, and it relates back to the fact that reducing the cost of college would have a major positive impact on our people. And in my opinion, the positives outnumber the negatives by a long shot. Anyway, first we discussed the rise in students who will attend college because the price is much more viable. Like I said, it'll make it go down. And then the second thing we talked about was settling the ongoing dispute that would put this issue at peace, which is obviously what we're trying to do here, is put the issue at peace for a little bit at least, and it'll make it better. More people will actually agree with it if we lower the price over keep increasing it. It'll make it much better. Also, the last thing I talked about was the positive impact on mental health. And personally, I think that is the most important aspect during this topic and everything like that, because mental health is not something to mess around about. It is a serious issue, and it'll be good for the actual students going through this hard situation in the long run. It'll put no more stress about the financials. You can actually worry about what you want to worry about, not about all the money. You don't have to get a job. You don't have to be stressed out. Lastly, although it may seem impossible to go the other way when it comes to college tuition, I believe that the 241% increase since 1981 is just an obstacle for the reduction our people deserve. So with that, I think we should reduce the cost of college tuition. It'll do better for our people in the long run. Thank you.